Last time on the Alpha Male Universe.
When me and my guys roll up just straight covered in ink, blasted, jacked as fuck, you could tell we're different, you guys. Not even to talk shit, you could tell we're different. Everyone just looks around, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with these guys? These guys look scary, what the fuck? You guys, work on yourselves, build the best you.
A few moments later.
Welcome back to the Alpha Male Universe. Now, things get strange here in the AMU, and it looks like the cream-pied butler, crowned Jose, has now joined Wes Watson in the Broward County Jail. Now, this video is not going to be a rehash of the same things you've been hearing over and over in the past 24 hours, because this story has taken over. What this is really going to be is a look deeper into how Jose fell into the alfalfa male hole. And it's gonna be wild, man, just to see a young 20-year-old man throw away his life just so he can get creamed by a high-powered legend of the yard, Wes Watson. It's truly sad in a way, but you know what? Fuck Jose. He made his own bed. He's gotta sleep in it, and he's sleeping in the Broward County Jail. So smash that like button, and without further ado, let's get this show on the fucking road.
Alright, this is some serious shit. If you had an active warrant right now for your arrest, would you rather get picked up in the cop car or just pull up to the jail in that Mansory Phantom? I'm like, I think I already know my option and what I picked, but...
Alright, so just to establish that the cream-pied butler did indeed go to jail, I had to show this clip, right? I wanted to establish facts so nobody could ever say I'm lying on this alfalfa male's name. Well, I'm not gonna ruin your minds. He's just gonna be blasting this song. As you can see, he thinks it's a flex about going to jail. That's truly how rotted out his mind is, how much his values have been flipped upside down. But how did it start? What did Crown Jose look like when he first arrived onto the AMU scene?
Look down and you have tits as a man, you should call yourself a bitch. If you look at your arms and they're just skinny ass arms, call yourself a bitch, cause that's what you are. You want the people to just tell you lies all day long. Fuck that. I need my people to tell me where I'm weak at and what I need to fix so I can level up. There's no point in placating my growth by just being nice to me. I hate that shit. So from now on, just look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. There's nothing wrong with having tits. I had them too. But guess what? There is something wrong if you choose to stay like that. You can always change. It's up to you.
I definitely set that up with the possibility Crowned Jose may have been rational and normal when he first popped up in the AMU, but that was never the case. Beluga Wellhead, that's what people are calling it. Beluga Wellhead, I can never unsee it. He was never reasonable when he first popped up in the AMU. He was a 1-for-1 copy of Wes Watson, and he had the usual message, you know, oh, if you have tetas, if you have small arms, blah, 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 right? We've heard this a million times, but ironically, because this guy hopped on so much gear, I think that he really did have like gyno or something. Gyno, however you say it, right? You get the point, because bro looks like he's got some milk in those things.
Guys, now I'm being labeled as a fake alpha male. First of all, whoever uses that term is just lame in general. What the hell? You guys, all I'm doing is showing you guys my daily life, how much being around my friends have changed the way I see life and the way I move around. I am now 2 years sober. I don't party, I don't do negative shit. All I do is post my daily life, all the positive things I do, and I know what works because it worked for me and I know how to help people. At the end of the day, they're just hating. They hate on what they gave up on. They're all just old dudes, bro. But you know what? I still got love for them. And you know what? If they want help, they can come around and I'll help them out. No hate. Because guess what? We winning.
So after the Beluga Wellhead got labeled a fake alfalfa male, it was all over from there. He had to double, he had to triple down on his alfalfa-ness and continue on a message of improvement. But you should notice at this point of his alpha career, he was priding himself with a message of sobriety, and he didn't really scribble on his face yet with some crayons. That was for later. But his message continued like this.
You need to understand the difference between constructive criticism and criticism in general. If I say you have tits, but then I tell you, hey, if you do this and you eat like this, you won't have tits no more, is constructive criticism. But if you just go out there shaming people and not giving them the solution they need to fix that problem, then you're just being an asshole. So please understand that difference. I am not here to talk shit to people, but I'm here to call you out because I know what you could do to be better. There's always a level up. Life is just progression or regression. There's no stagnation. You never just stop moving. You either go forward or you go backward.
You know, until I made this video, I never realized how obsessed he was with getting rid of men's milkers. Like, I never realized that. It definitely was a consistent topic talked about in his Instagram reels where he would give his wisdom or whatever. But I find it really funny that he tries to distinguish himself saying, I'm not an asshole, guys. But all of his solutions were behind some exorbitant paywall. Like, you could just tell people, run more, eat better, don't drink beer as much as drunk Dubs Watson, and you'd probably lose that big old beer belly. Like, that's pretty much the solution. It's not really that hard to figure out, but these guys would make it like a mystery of the universe. So the hate started to get to him. It started to build up, and he wasn't taking it well.
Okay, instead of judging people for what they say or what they're trying to post online, these are the people that never post themselves speaking, will never speak in front of the camera. These are the same people that do that, but guess what? Once you get in front of the camera, they always break down and start stuttering. You guys, if you're getting in front of the camera and you're just starting at it, keep going. That's probably one of the biggest skill sets, is be able to speak in front of the camera and in front of people. It gives you the most confidence ever, because that's what everyone is always afraid of. Biggest piece of advice for the haters, bro. Fuck them. They won't listen to a word you say, so fuck them. At first they hate you, then they'll love you. Then when they're ready to hear the message, they'll come back for you.
So yeah, he didn't last too long underneath the heat of his critics. He didn't like it. People used to cook him for how he presented himself on camera. Ironically, he did stutter. He did mess up when trying to project some high power alpha male aura, and it just blew up in his face. Looks even dumber. Tries to flex another life coach like that's some crazy accomplishment. But he was really upset. People were talking shit on him. They were slam dunking on him on the Reddit, and he kind of just like transitioned away from the self-improvement stuff. He pretty much became a full-time butler for Wes Watson. You would see him appear in the kitchen, background, the garage, cleaning. I'm not even lying. Like, if you go back in some previous Wes Watson videos, you will see him cleaning in the back. And that shit is so embarrassing. And he would just drink. He would just party. He gave up this whole message of sobriety. He basically followed the footsteps of his, I don't know, his God, whatever you want to say. And it eventually led to this. Crowned Jose was so fearful he wasn't going to be able to be creamed again by Wes, or maybe the other way around. He decided to help him out when Wes Watson brutally beat down his ex-fiancée. In this excerpt from this police document, I'll read, Wes Watson then told the victim to drink, drink, drink while forcefully pouring alcohol down her throat. It was at this point the defendant told his live-in assistant, Crowned Jose, clean her up. She doesn't stop bleeding, for which Jose cleaned her cut and then glued her forehead injury. We know this assistant is Crowned Jose because he was living in that mansion for, I think, over 6 months. I think it's safe to conclude that Crowned Jose has absolutely cooked his reputation, and if it was possible, he somehow made it even weirder by showing off Wes Watson's initials on some type of like necklace that he made, maybe even bought for Wes while going to the Broward County Jail. I mean, this shit is just ridiculous. Like, I can't even believe any of this is real, but the alpha male universe is one of the weirdest, wackiest places you will ever stumble upon. Like, these swole cows are truly delusional, and we're here to clown them. So if you like this video, please be sure to smash that like button, swing on by the Discord, and if you're new to all of this, hit that subscribe button. Until the next AMU episode, guys. Later.